When you look at our homicide victims and our suspects, when you look at our felonious assault suspects and victims, they're young. They're young. We're talking about under 21. My concern is for the lives of these children as well. The answer isn't to necessarily throw away the key and lock someone up forever.
We will not accept the status quo. We will continue to implement reforms that put the right officers, the right resources in the right places at the right times in every neighborhood throughout our city.
But are these changes working? For months, top Columbus leaders have pleaded on our air, calling for changes that will prevent teens from being killed on the city's streets. The mayor and police chief are trying to prevent the deadly consequences of gun violence. The latest victim, a 13-year-old boy. Police say someone shot and killed Sinze Reed last night in the Wedgwood neighborhood. His name joins the list of others killed in that same area. Our 10 Investigates team found there have been 17 homicides near those apartments in the past 5 years. But this isn't about numbers or neighborhoods. Rather, names and families of victims plagued by a crisis our leaders recognize. 10 TV's Kevin Landers asks how the community plays a role in finding a solution.
Columbus police tell us they have the name of the person they suspected took the life of 13-year-old Sinze Reed, but there has not been an arrest and the motive is unclear. Those who work to combat youth violence say it will take more than police to solve the problem.
He didn't have beef with anybody in Wedgwood. He was cool with everyone, and then out of nowhere he gets shot.
She asked we conceal her identity out of fear of retaliation for a shooting that took the life of her best friend.
I have watched plenty of people die from gun violence, but I didn't expect it to be Sinze.
13-year-old Sinze Reed was shot and killed Wednesday night. Those who knew him say he lived on Dalton Court, not far from the shooting scene.
Nobody expected him to get shot because he was a good little boy, and his mom will even tell you that. Like he may not be perfect, but he's a sweetheart.
This shooting death, combined with the shooting death of a 15-year-old at Franklin Park on Monday, has people like Thel Robinson worried. He runs Halt Violence, which works to stop youth violence.
No one is equipped to handle the street. No one wins in the street. You know, so if you have a loved one in the street, help him get out the street. Help her get out the street. But don't just sit back and let that individual do what he or she do because you benefiting from rent money and hair and nail dones and free drugs. No.
Robinson is a reformed felon who spent his life in prison for selling drugs. He says if we are to encourage children to put down guns, it will take families who care.
It starts at home. You know, when we're talking about youth, we're talking about parent responsibility. So if a parent can't handle a responsibility or responsibilities, they need to reach out to agencies, programs, and individuals.
Meanwhile, those who knew Sinze Reed are concerned for their safety. 10 TV tracked homicides at the Wedgwood apartments. In the last 5 years, police say they've investigated 17.
I wish they would tear these buildings down.
According to Columbus police, we've had 10 homicides of children under the age of 18. That compares to 12 for the same time last year. Reporting from Columbus Police Headquarters, Kevin Landers, 10 TV News.